So this is a little impromptu, but in the spirit of living true to my word and showing up regardless, whether it's polished or not, just that's the commitment I made. And I know I skipped last week, but showing up in some way for my creativity, even if it's just leaving these kind of messages almost like a time capsule, hopefully to my future self, he'll look back and be like, it took you a bit to get going, but thank God you did. So this is me showing up in this space, and I came out to have a walk, which is why I'm outside, reflecting on why I hadn't done all the things I said I was going to do this weekend. And what kept coming up for me is, this idea of take everything external away, this idea of who are you really up against when you're choosing to lean into the resistance, like who's driving that need. And I realized the version of me that's driving that need isn't my best version, isn't the strongest version of me, isn't the most creative version of me, isn't the most fearless, courageous version of me. That is the version of me that is terrified of, what people will think. I don't fucking care anymore. Come on. I'd rather do this thing. So why do I keep finding myself stuck and frozen? And I do know there is a lot still to do, decoupling perfection from just being able to show up, hence why I'm here. And if anyone's wondering who the hell I am, my name is S.A.A.R.A. I'm a creativity empowerment coach, but also someone who's talking to you from a space of trying to restart their creative practice after putting a lot of time, energy, resources, money into it, but it just left me feeling burnt out. That coupled with a myriad of things that delightfully dovetail with the experience of being a woman, a non-white woman, who's sort of triple shifting on, working on my creative work, having a full-time job, creating this online space. And it's all things that I enjoy doing, but I need to find balance. And the version of me that gets balance is the version of me that's so much stronger than thinking I can't do it, because balance requires boundaries. Boundaries requires willpower, inner strength, assertiveness, and right now living in the weakest version of me who's like, oh, just give up or feel sad about it, isn't gonna help. So this is a short one today because, who needs me rambling on for ages? And I say this to you as much as I say this to me. Actually, I'm saying this to me because the only thing I can commit to is showing up and building routine around that, and building a routine around exiting from the not good enough chat. Recently, I was listening to some of my old work and old releases and having this weird kind of battle in my mind where it's like, oh, this isn't very good, versus actually I'm quite proud of this. And I think that's par for the course for all creative efforts, especially when you start to look back, because what you made then helped you have the skills that you have now. So look back and analytically see where your skills now have delivered you to. And I think a big part of that is learning to appreciate that growth. And I did tell myself that when I made my first EP, it was like, celebrate the fact that the next thing you do will be better in some way. And right now, maybe the next thing I do, the only way it's going to be better is if I start making it. because whether or not, and you know, what is better? I would like to make a record that feels really true to who I am, and that's I'm starting there, you know. So yeah, that's me showing up this week in a very strange way. And yeah, real talk. I mean, maybe this format doesn't suit anyone at all. But yeah, this is me just coming to you. I was going to say raw dogging, raw dogging the truth on what the fuck with dealing with burnout, creative exhaustion, creative block, the sharp end of microaggressions and patriarchy, just trying to be a girly who wants to make some music, and yeah, just moving through a lifetime's worth of self-limiting conditioning and kind of processing that. But I have to be thankful and grateful for this creative journey, because if it wasn't for this creative journey, I wouldn't be doing that, any of that. I wouldn't have grown as much as I have in the past, even just couple of years. And I think when I look back at some of the scenarios and situations and things that I accepted and tolerated and experienced and endured as a non-white woman, often in white spaces, and trying to work on her creative craft, self-funding, you know, self-motivating, you know, with no kind of contacts, connections, just kind of freestyling it. Yeah, I'm just sharing this in case it helps anyone realize, if you have a creative passion or calling or thing that's deep down you know you need to just do, and have faith in it and trust it and be okay with learning and starting over and being shit at it and then getting good at it and then feeling shit about it and cycling around, then definitely just go for it. Because even where I'm sat right now and everything that I've processed since, you know, leaving a career behind in 2016 to explore my creative passion, everything I've learned between now and then, which is nearly 10 years, can you believe it? It's just given me knowledge that deep down beneath the hesitation and kind of imposter syndrome and need for perfection, I know there is something there that I just have to trust and believe in. And right now, getting back to that space where it's flowing easily, effortlessly, is all about setting up strong routines that support one's creative practice. Now, I haven't been doing that, but this is me now doing that. So I don't know what these videos are going to look like going forward. I don't even believe in a lot of editing. So here you go. But I hope that helps. I feel like I'm coming with some clarity with what I need to do next. And I hope you are too. See you next week.